Boy, oh boy, Trumpy Wumpy, the king himself, has just been in the headlines more and more here. And, and obviously you will be voting for a convicted felon. How could you? But let's talk about what's going on with Trump media here. I made a video, what was it, Thursday? I said, I think, we're in a situation where we could see this Trump media here do a God chart where it could just squeeze. I mean, we're in a situation where Trump is raising money. I mean, whether people like, there's a lot of things happening, whether people like Trump or not. And when we talk about the stock, obviously I think the majority of people that are clicking on this video want the stock to do well. I think that's the majority. But there's also bears out there betting against it with, there's always going to be that. But with this, I think this is a very dangerous stock to bet against right now. And obviously, let me go ahead and underline this. And I always say this because I have to, so people don't waste their time in the comments. But obviously, this is not a company you should be investing in for their financial future right now. We're not talking about financials. We're not talking about quarterlies. We're not talking... Nah, we don't care. We don't care. I don't care. We're not talking about that. This is FOMO, this is hype, this is what could be, and where there's FOMO, where there's hype, there's always money to be made. We've seen that time and time again, and this is no different right now, and we've seen that. Mr. Kitty's talking again, and, GameStop's going crazy. So we find ourselves people that are obsessed with this stock right now. It is a time where we're at another crossroads. Where are we going with the stock? So when I made that video talking about the God chart, I was like, we're in a prime position right now where Trump, he just came out of the court system last week. Obviously, the debates are coming up. Then we have his court appearance where he'll get some kind of, is he going to prison? Is he going to get a slap on the wrist? House arrest? I don't know. They're going to put a bracelet around his leg? I don't know. Either way, it's not going to do what the mainstream media wants. It's just going to make him even bigger, and that's what we're seeing. I mean, the guy just joined TikTok the other night. He's already got almost 5 million subs. But with Trump media here, this is all good. Good publicity, bad publicity, it doesn't matter at this point. It's helping Trump. We're just seeing such a culture shift right now take place. And obviously, there's still people that are going to vote for Biden and the Biden administration. But right now, with this shift, this is very, very important for this stock right now because it's fallen to $46. Today, Monday, starting out the market, June 3rd here. This is Monday. The stock had a little bit of a rough day, if we want to call this a rough day. It's still at $46. And, obviously, it's not supposed to be at $46. According to, a lot of articles out there, it should be a $5 stock. Good thing we didn't listen to them. With that too, you're seeing a shift too right now. There's this huge shift with articles where they're almost giving in. They're like, Trump media stock is doing really well. People are coming around to it. They're just, they're trying to get people to read the articles at this point because the stock is not falling apart. And I said this last week, even when Trump went through all this last week with the courts and everything, if that's all they had, against him at this point, it's a dead giveaway that Trump media here is not, it's not going to get worse for it. Like, there's nothing you can do to the stock. The stock, I think, obviously, and we've seen Wall Street do this in the past where they go after certain parts of a company and try to destroy the company from, the bottom up, ground down, in the middle, whatever it be. And obviously they're wanting Trump, obviously, to, not run for the presidency, not campaign. And obviously Trump media is a huge tool that they don't want around. So, I'm sure there was a lot of that where Wall Street was betting against Trump media here. Coming out of the courts, but it hasn't hurt the stock at all. It's honestly done nothing to it. It honestly went up last week a little bit. So with the start of this week, even being right under $47 where it closed today, it's still in prime position. So talking about that God chart, this is where, we've seen this stock do this before, where it's gone down to these levels of support to where, now we're getting so greedy where we're like, it's at $46. $46 2 months ago would have been like, holy smokes. Now we're like, we're just getting greedy at this point. So in 2 weeks from now, we could be saying, it's only at 55, it's only at 60. But you see what I'm saying here? When you look at a 6-month chart right now, we're making headway. I mean, this is pretty amazing that we're seeing this. So, like I said, we're strictly talking about it's hard to say this with people that like don't get what's going on with the stock. Obviously, when I say this, it probably ruffles some feathers. I get it. I don't so much care about Trump media, the stock, like the company. I don't care about the company right now. We're strictly talking about the stock and how the stock is moving. The stock is a weapon. It is being used as a weapon against Wall Street. It's being used as a place where it's being highly manipulated, where people are coming in, trading it, making large amounts of money on a weekly basis, buying, selling, and you're seeing a lot of volume, a lot of trading going on with it. So even buying it at 46 right now, tomorrow, maybe it'll go to 44, it's going to go back to 50. But the thing is, when we go back to 50, what we're seeing, we saw levels of 50. The new high levels right now are the mid 50s. So this is very well leading to the conclusion that within 2 weeks from now, the mid 50s could be the new 40s. Is that making sense? This is just what we're seeing with it. And we're coming up on some prime dates right now. Obviously, we have what I think is going to be huge for the stock. We're going to have the Biden-Trump, debate, the first one. And then Trump will have his court date, whatever they're going to do, I don't know. And then we'll have another debate. But somewhere in that too, we could see Trump name a running mate. He has not done it yet. So this is where a lot of people, and this is what's really going to capture a lot more people in the country with really pulling towards Trump, who he's going to pick. I think more likely he'll probably pick a lady. We just don't know who that lady is going to be. There's a handful out there, but obviously it's going to probably jump the stock because we're seeing the stock react to good news. And I think if whether it's hard to bet against the stock right now. It's hard to bet against it because we've had awful situations happen with Trump where the general media has done everything to make him look terrible. Where you have a president who paid a porn star to spank his bottom. What presidents haven't probably done that? Let's be honest here, but the general media has tried everything to destroy him and people that still believe in him, in his reputation, face, name, and all that. And obviously the main thing that would be attacked more than not, that we've seen time and time again in the market, is the stock. Trump's face, he's not the CEO, but his face is Trump media. Trump media is doing fine. The stock is doing fine. I think if that's all they had with this whole court thing, the cases, the felonies, I think we're clear. I think we're clear. I don't think anything else can happen to the stock. I think it's going to be green valleys from here on out. It's just going to be a slow process maybe, but there could be a squeeze somewhere in here where we see really big news to where it gets the stock really pumped to where it sets off some kind of reaction into a squeeze. So this is my theory, and I'm kind of drinking the juice myself with it to where I think this could happen. When we saw those mid 20s, back in April, we may not see 20s again for a while. We may be done with 20s. I would be shocked to see 30s at this point. It would take a collapse in the market at this point for us to see 30s. And the market's doing pretty well right now, even though we're still seeing inflation come in high. We're still seeing just Jerome Powell constantly put out bad news. With this too, there's other stocks that we should be aware of right now. The market is a very, very, weird place right now. Nvidia is going to be having their split here very soon. Crypto is right on the edge of just unleashing power, but I don't think anything's going to happen this year with crypto. I think it's just a buying market with it right now. But two, watch Rumble. Watch Rumble. I think Rumble is going to react to what Trump media is doing here. I think you need to be very aware of that. I like Rumble. I've talked highly of Rumble. Rumble's held its ground here since it's went up to the $6 mark. You know, back in January, Rumble was at the mid threes. And now, what we've seen so far since the beginning of the year, Rumble's been playing around the $6 to, you know, even a low $8 mark here, especially when quarterlies come out. And their last quarterly was good. It wasn't phenomenal, but they did pass their quarterly. So Rumble is still growing, and Rumble, I do believe that if we do see Trump win the election here in November, Rumble's going to really take a lot of support with that, because Rumble is surrounded in free speech. And I have a theory that Rumble could run really high next year just off FOMO alone, because I do think if Trump gets back in the White House, he will go after, I gotta be careful how I say this, he will more than likely go after, let's just say Alphabet, and everything Alphabet owns. So if you get it, you get it. Because, you know, that is the basis of Trump, what he, you know, says Trump media is, and Rumble, that they are free speech platform, which they are. They're highly different than what, you know, Google is. So, friends, you know, what more can I say here? You know, whether you like Trump, you don't like Trump, you know, you got to admit the guy, things are really turning around here. Things are really turning around for the administration here and what's going on with Trump media. I would be highly careful to bet against this stock right now. If you are doing puts, calls, whatever you're doing, you know, it's a very volatile stock, so I think you need to be very well aware of that, obviously. But betting against it, being very bearish on it, I think it's very dangerous. It's very dangerous. So best of luck to anyone. I think it's proven time and time again that it is not something to bet against at this point. It has got an army of investors behind it. And, you know, and here's what we're seeing. With this stock price rising like that, we're not seeing a lot of sell-off. So every time we hit these new numbers, even being at $46 right now, you know, this is amazing that that's the new low. You know, that's really amazing. So we're right in almost hitting this $50 mark. And like I said, 2 weeks from now, we could be saying $60 is the new high. In the mid 50s is the new low. And we're like, oh man, making sense here. So Trump media here, this could be a crazy summer with the stock. It could be a crazy summer with the stock. We could see it hit all new highs and keep new support levels. So friends, that is my story. I'm sticking to it. Maybe I'll talk about it at the end of the week again here. Let's see what happens, unless something, you know, breaks out here. But man, what a week. I think we've got ahead of us here. We'll probably start to hear a lot more about AI, especially with this NVIDIA stuff coming up. It's gonna be a few weird weeks in the market here. I would not be surprised to see Trump media here break out again and run to, you know, $55. And even if it fell back down to lower 40s, it's going to be probably a load up zone for a lot of people. I think people are just going to, I don't think it's going to be able to allow itself to stay in the low 40s for a long time, because I think it showed its colors so many times at this point now to where people automatically know, like, it's going back up again. It's so manipulated. We've watched this episode already. Does that make sense? Friends, take care. I'll talk to you soon. Bye everyone.